Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word live to you YouTube people. Normally goes live on Premier, but we're here. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Everton 1. A late 97th minute equaliser from Beto. Grabbed Everton a point when it looked like we weren't going to get one, which, in my opinion, would have been a travesty. On the second half, first half, we didn't deserve anything. John, you were down there. I mean, what was your overall takeaway from the game?
I don't know why Michael Keane played, but the negative bit you get from when the team's announced and we're just going to sit here and try and nick it type of thing played out in the first half. And if they'd been a bit sharper with their decision making and stuff, they might have had the lead and then we'd have been in the sticky stuff probably. But whatever he said at half time, and I know over time he made some changes, I agree with you. Really, takeaway was deserved zit, absolutely nothing for the first half performance. And perhaps draw was just on the tail of two halves thing. The draw was enough, but both teams could and perhaps should have put it out of reach of the other one. Yeah. They should have had it tied up reasonably good after the first half. And then when we started in the second half, particularly Dewsbury Hall, I guess we'll talk about that. Had we taken the lead, I think we'd have finished it off as well. So,
Mike, I mean, John just sort of alluded to it there, the team before the game. Not so much Michael Keane. I mean, I was surprised Keane come in, given how well O'Brien and Tarkowski had done as a pair, but I suppose when you looked at it, it wasn't that much of a shock in dropping Patterson for O'Brien, and particularly with no Mykolenko. Obviously he was missing with an injury and Brand had to go to left back, but the four centre backs across the back, you're not a big lover of that, are you?
No, I mean, I think, look, we're not surprised he's dropped Patterson, but it is a surprise in terms of most people wouldn't change a defence that looks half solid. I think since Keane went out the team, you know, we've looked pretty solid at the back. And Patterson's done a solid job. Not amazing, let's not go overboard. He's done a decent job. But the plus to that is then having O'Brien playing at centre back and having a bit more recovery pace at down the middle of the pitch, which for me in turn makes Tarkowski look a little bit better.
True.
And it would have been a nice option, like you say, with Mykolenko going out. You could have had almost the roles reversed of last season, where you had sort of the back three with O'Brien, Branthwaite and Tarky, and then Mykolenko playing a little bit higher. You could have just done it roles reversed with Patterson on that side, certainly with Armstrong being on the right and tucking in. It would have, to me, made a little bit more sense from an attacking perspective. So I was disappointed when I saw that. I'm at the stage, I think it was the West Ham game, where I can't watch O'Brien at right back anymore. It's nothing against the lad, because I think he's really good at centre back, and he's a centre back, so no surprise. But at right back, it's tedious to watch. You know, the attack just dies every time it goes out him on that side. He comes back all the time. I think in this game, he actually did pass the ball forward a little bit more, but he'd give it away a lot, and so it's sort of just I don't know, it's just run its course. And like you say, it's not a dig at Michael Keane. However, just that rush, that feels like a rush to get him back in the side, just seems strange to me. And it was the same rush to get Idrissa Gana Gueye back in the side the week before, where, you know, the old heads are the sort of go-to, and both times I don't think it's really worked, I'm being honest.
I think what I would say, I agree, but what I would say is I don't think Keane would have come in had Mykolenko been fit. I think Branthwaite would have played. But what I do know is O'Brien would have gone to right back. I've said it all week, that the first chance he can get to drop Patterson, he drops him. And he's the man. Listen, he's the manager, and that's fine. If he genuinely thinks he's not good enough, then that's on him. I think, personally, Patterson gives us better balance. Again, do I think Nathan Patterson's Everton's long-term answer at right back? No, because poor management, bad injuries,
bad hand injuries
and bad luck has ruined and stunted his progression. And I feel like he needs to go somewhere where the buying club are sort of buying him and going, you're our right back, and he just plays. Where here, I think he's always feeling like he's got to prove himself every time.
Yeah.
And actually, this time he's come in and done quite a good job, really. He hasn't been amazing, far from it.
Fine.
But he's been fine and we've been better balanced. So that was my thing, was a bit disappointment. All right, if he thinks Keane's better than O'Brien centre-back, fine, but leave Patterson where he is. But if he thinks O'Brien's a better centre-back, then leave him. Because that's the partnership, those two are better. Like, the best partnership in the club still right now for me is Branthwaite and Tarkowski.
Yeah.
Can O'Brien take Tarky's place? Yeah, if he keeps improving, yeah. And then it'll be Branthwaite and O'Brien. But no matter what, Branthwaite's the best defender we've got, and therefore plays. This was a bit different. The other thing was obviously Harrison Armstrong playing, because what I did think he might do, I didn't think Dwight McNeil would play because he had a really poor game against Leeds and was taken off at half time. I wondered if he'd play Patterson right sort of midfield, because he played him for the second half there against Leeds and he'd done all right till he brought Dibbling on. But he went with Harrison Armstrong, which is a big pat on the back for Harrison Armstrong to be moved around and put there. Was that a surprise for you, for him to go there?
It was a surprise him going there. I would have been even more surprised to see Patterson there, if I'm being honest. I
just didn't know whether he'd carry on.
Just the lack of faith that he has in him in his own position. I just couldn't see him putting him in a different one. However, like you say, it's a good testament for Harrison Armstrong. And again, he's alluded to in the press conference, hasn't he, about him being able to take on board instruction and tactical, nous of what's going on in the game, which you can see. We can see when you're playing. You get when you go to the game and you're watching him, especially when you're there and you're seeing him live. You can see the way he thinks about the game. He bought
3 free kicks late on brilliantly. Waited for the tackle, just nuts the ball and got clipped.
He's an older head, isn't he? Than what he is. And the good thing is he feels like a new signing. He's come into the squad, and it's like, if he can fill in a couple of positions as well, fantastic. However, again, it just goes back to, look, the lad's centre mid, he's playing out there, and he's in. You need that width overlapping him. But yeah, is it a real sort of kick in the teeth for Dibbling? I would suggest, a lad the same age as him. So it's not about age, and anyone with this thing of Moyes won't play young players. Well, he always has done, and he's continuing to, as long as they're doing what he's asking them to do. And so it raises questions as to what's happening there. But no, it was good that Armstrong's in the side, and it's good that they made the decision to keep him and not loan him back out, because he's if he's starting games now, then he's going to be useful for the running.
Do you feel like that about Moyes? It's a lazy sort of criticism about young. It feels like a lazy criticism of him that he won't play young players. And is it more a case? Is it that, or have I got that wrong? Is it not a lazy criticism, or is it more what Mike just said? He'll play you if you're good enough.
Well, we've said it for a number of weeks, haven't we? That he's demonstrated many times, David Moyes, that if you're good enough, the age doesn't matter. Right? However, I think it's a bit more complicated than that. And I don't think it's lazy to say age, but I think age is a symptom, right? And you've just described Harrison Armstrong, in my words, not what you just used, as an old head on young shoulders, right? So he's got the maturity. He takes a brief. He's also, his natural position or positions is easier for David Moyes' requirements to be satisfied, which is, if I use it, defensive-minded, trustworthy. Doesn't mean they can't be creative, but those who play off the cuff more readily, which is where Dibbling comes into play, don't naturally take a brief that is about getting goal side plays, earning the right and those sorts of things. And that's where Dibbling absolutely can learn from Armstrong, because if he had anything in him, which is he's just bigoted against young players, well, there's one who isn't. And when younger George comes on the other side, if he plays, he says, well, it's not age, lad, it's you. You've got to recognise this game isn't about Cruyff turns and nutmegs and beating a guy 3 times, although the fans will love you for it, but only if there's an outball, only if there's an output.
Product,
you're creating chances or scoring goals. Look at Ndiaye, he naturally does the hard yards. Again, I would argue, we just dismissed age, and I've come up with it's the creative players, blah, blah, blah. But Ndiaye's our most creative player, and he gets played time and time. I mean, at the moment, right? He gets played time and time because he does do the defensive work as well.
Yeah,
And he popped as a player to all that jiggling, dribbling stuff. He added trust from managers because he'll do the team bit as well. And I think what Harrison's doing is a job for the team. And I think that was the last part of his audition. I'm not sending him back. He's playing out of position to a specific brief and delivers upon it.
Away from home.
Away from home.
It's hard
and delivers upon it.
when you're a forward player.
Oh, always.
Because
the hardest job.
There's no natural instinct to run. I was absolute garbage anywhere but up front because I didn't want to run back.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was saying to you last week, Zach played on the left wing last week. They asked him to play on there, and at the end he was knackered.
Yeah.
Played well, but he was knackered at, and I as he come off, I was like, I hope you've got an appreciation for our wingers now, you know, our wide lads, like, because you're having to run up and down.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not your game to run, and that's why for Tyler Dibbling, although ironically I thought at Forest he did put a shift in Ambernie. Naturally for him, and this is where you're saying with Njai, and Njai's had to learn that and did with it and sort of does it. That's sort of Dibbling's next thing, I think.
Totally.
I can totally sympathise with Dibbling going, why do I want to run back and double up with the fullback? I want to get the ball and go.
You also have to...
But he's got to get the trust, doesn't he?
You've got to get the trust, but you also have to earn the right to be the, if such a thing can exist, the one player who doesn't have to track back.
No, you've got to be good.
And therefore you've got to be a lot better than he is right now with the outcomes.
It goes sort of hand in hand though a little bit, where I sort of contradict myself a little bit, but you know, for a player like that, if he's playing on the right and you've got 4 centre backs, at the end of the day, if you want to score some goals, it shouldn't be too much involved. He ain't get, you know, he isn't having.
But why do you think he won't play him then?
I mean, we've said on other shows. I think it's the $1 million question. I don't think any of us know. We can only guess, can't we? But there's some, the football talent is not in question. Is it? We can all see he's a talented footballer. I think everyone's going to say. So it's obviously either taking on board tactical instruction and or the psychological side of football and the pressure and stuff. Because I suggested the way, like, when he was performing for Southampton, they were relegated in October. He was under no pressure. They would just turn up, nicey, just play, get beat, go home, and do the same again next week. Whereas here, it's very different. We are a very demanding fan base. We've got a very demanding manager who expects certain standards as well. And maybe he's just struggling to adapt to that. Hopefully he does adapt to that in time. I hope he does, but I'm not so sure whether he will or not, because we've seen players in the past come to Everton who've had good careers before Everton, come to Everton, at a lesser club, come to us, and then go off to a lesser club and have a decent career. But the demands here are a little bit different, and I just think it's. I'm hoping he can settle down, because there's a player in there.
I think, again, just to finish off with the young thing, I mean, he had Wayne Rooney, who was, again, I've said it lots of times, the greatest English talent I've ever seen. I think natural talent. Became the youngest goal scorer in the Premier League. We still have the youngest Premier League goal scorer, 16-year-old James Vaughan. So we had 2 of the youngest Premier League goal scorers.
Rodwell.
Jack Rodwell made his European and Everton debut at 16. Victor Anichebe was sort of 17. He's played all the way through his first spell. 16, 17, 18-year-old lads. Ross Barkley was on the bench at 16, ironically, we were at Fulham. And he was going to get in the team. He had a double leg break playing for England, and that put him back a year, but he did play when he was 17. So I don't think it's anything to do with age with it. If you were good enough and can take on instruction, this manager will play it. I think, personally, and that's where you've got to look.
But he is. I mean, literally is. He's doing it right now.
So for the likes of Adam Asnu is another one. The manager keeps saying physically for that left back role he's not. And that's what I was going to say. Sorry to interrupt. And maybe that's what
he's saying for that position, isn't he? He said so. He keeps saying for the position we brought Asnu in for, he's not quite there. Strong enough. So it's not. Like we all hope that we might have used him a little bit higher up the pitch at certain times over the last few weeks. But fundamentally, he's been brought in as a left back, and we've all let's have it right. We all know he's not good enough at the minute. We were all at the Roma game. He was miles off it. Physically, he doesn't look like he's adapted anymore, or anything massive. So
he has just said himself he's on a programme now. As Tieno Barry said the same thing. Actually, on a programme to build themselves up, because it's a huge. This is often overlooked, I think. the Premier League, regardless, me personally don't think it's the greatest league in the world, but that's a different thing. But I think it's the most physical and
it's the most demanding league, isn't it?
Physically demanding,
and that's it, isn't it? So it's both of those lads.
Yeah,
they've got to go and put the work in the gym, and I think Dibling's got to do a bit as well. Yeah. Naturally, like you said, talent's not in question. Skips past people like they're not there. Don't go back and beat them again. Yeah, make your decision when you go past them. What am I doing next? I want to cross it. I want a shot. But hopefully he can get in.
Thing is with elite sport, and here we're talking about Premier League, and as you say, it's not the best, most of us, but it might be that, as you say, the most demanding.
Oh, it is the most demanding. Yeah.
And if we even talking about players we like out the club, right? They're all good footballers, and what sorts out the men from the boys are those who can do it in the stress situations. And I think your Dibbling thing's really right. You know, Russell Martin will have seen him in training. Where's the stress in that, right? People will have seen him on the pitch. We can see the talent is there, but when there's a really great big fullback, because the fullbacks are bigger and bigger, and they go, I lay one on him in the first 5 minutes and he doesn't quite fancy it, or if I restrict his space, or and that's why you need minutes, right? And he hasn't had minutes because it's not an audition, is it, really? And I just said Armstrong's had an audition, but he's had an audition because he keeps hitting the markers that the manager wants. Yeah. The managers give Dibbling markers a couple of times and he's dragged him off, type of thing, and yet he's shown, maybe because of the length of time he's on the pitch or the type of game it was, that he can take the brief.
And the lack of options from the manager.
And that's where it was going to go when you start reeling it off from days gone by, you know, with all the young players. The more choices David has, the more likely he is, by his very nature of how he is as a manager, he'll take the least risk options, right? And at the moment, Dibbling I can't think of anyone who would be more risky than, in certain circumstances, than putting Dibbling in there, because he doesn't trust him. So he's not going to do it.
No.
Simple.
I mean, Brighton started the game much better than we did. They were knocking the ball around well. One thing Everton do is the shape's really good. They do stick to the whatever the game plan
based on everything we've just said, for all those reasons.
Stick to the game plan. But they did have a couple of moments, you know, they had a corner with a knockdown and Welbeck flicked it and Jordan made a good save, actually, good reaction save to that. And then Welbeck had the header that he probably should have hit the target with. Took his eye off it and glanced it wide. And then they had probably Brighton's best move of the match between Welbeck and Matoma. Lovely little 1-2. Dinks it over Pickford, and as it went over Pickford, I thought 1-0. Just expecting them to bustle, and it rolled past the far post. And after that, I think Everton sort of got to grips with the space. They didn't really. Everything else Brighton sort of did was
smothered it
outside the box.
It felt like a real nothing half. I don't know. It was
weird.
Just
What frustrated me was defensively very good. In Premier League teams will always get one or two. They just will, no matter how good or bad they are. They always get it. When we had the chance to break, and we put some lovely build-up play. We just didn't get a shot. Like Njai twice faced the lad up, and I'm thinking, just bend one, an early one into that far corner and just test the keeper. And does the thing where he's stepping over it and dragging it to the left, and you're like, you keep doing the same thing, so the defender just leans into you, and you know he kicked one out for a goal kick himself instead of just shooting. You know, when it was wasting.
Defender done well that, to be fair. But I know what you mean. If he'd got it in first,
once you shift it, you have to hit it, catch him by surprise, or you do a little guide to the other corner before you shift it. Once he's doing a wide step over, and dragging it across him. All the lad has to do step into that gap, which is what he did. But
I think with the offensive side of it at the minute, I think Ndai's come back. And obviously only been 2 games, but not the Ndai that we had before.
No.
Miles off it in comparison to that standard. He's also now playing on the left when he's played all season on the right. Jessica Gay looks miles off it from the Jessica Gay that was playing before it as well. Dewsbury's trying to get up to speed, so that's another one of your good offensive players. And then you've got Harrison Armstrong playing out of position. So offensively,
and no fullbacks, you get fullbacks.
So and that's where, without being like everyone on social media, we know what type of game it's going to be, because that's where we're at right this moment in time. So it was a bit of a struggle offensively. It feels like, how are we going to do something? Like, where's it coming from? Because There's no width. There's no passing through the lines. There's no striker who can pick the ball up and just bend one in himself. He needs chances creating for him, which most strikers do. So it's always sort of going to feed out like that.
Yeah.
You're playing 4 centre-backs. You've set yourself up and told the opposition, really, we're just going to sit here and frustrate.
I mean, we did that last season. I think, you know, I was saying to John, I think it was something like 72% possession to Brighton.
Down at Brighton.
16 attempts at goal to 3. 1-0. And it just felt like the very same performance. I mean, John, at half-time, as the whistle, I'm like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
What an awful first half. But I was saying, however, we've restricted them to nothing either. So there's a tick in David Moyes' box first half there going, they haven't really, apart from the Matoma thing, they've not really had anything.
Yeah.
Now can we if we have a go, let's see what they've got. Were you feeling like that in the stadium at half time, or were you thinking that was fucking shite?
I didn't actually see it as shite.
Yeah, okay,
right?
yeah.
Although it was, right. I saw it.
No attempts at goals is shite.
Exactly right, yeah. We were joking about it.
Yeah.
What's our ambition for the second half? Have a shot, you know. Ooh, we've had one. Let's have one on target now.
Yeah.
But more to do with we achieved what we set out to achieve, which is smother the bloody thing, and then perhaps push on in the second half. And that's
because we are a team of one half this season, aren't we?
Massively.
Every game.
You know, so you can have that joke about, well, that's the shit half. We're going to get the better half now. And then when we started so brightly in the second half, you think,
there we
and
go.
the movement was really good, and we were passing it.
He tinkered it though, didn't he? The first half,
he did.
Brian was in that 10 again, and couldn't get in the game.
Yeah, anonymous.
And he did look like you said, he looked off it.
Just dropped off a
and
bit.
he dropped off a bit second half, and it got him that nice little move edge of the box, and he just flicks it to the side, and it's one, and he does the keeper. He was beaten, and it was very much like Matoma's one. Goes past the keeper, and you think, goal. Don't you? And it just
little bit spin that way, and it goes in.
Shaves the far post, but that sort of seemed to pick everybody up then, and give them, they seemed to step back a bit like, hang on, these have got something. And then we had the lovely little, was it the shot when he had the lovely little move, the little back heel and the flick and all?
I think that was the shot,
It was a great little move, the interchange, but it just went boom, 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 through them.
Yeah.
And it did make them sort of go, here we go.
I think Dewsbury, like you said, the tactical thing of moving Dewsbury slightly deeper was the catalyst to it, because he started, because we don't have the pace in the team, but he moves the ball quick.
He does.
And again, he, you know, on your interview with him, he prefers playing deeper. That's where he's better played.
And
his best performances for us have been deeper.
They have,
he gets on the ball. He makes James Garner look a better player as well. That's true. He can move the ball quicker.
And it
through
also
the lines.
And allows Tierno Barry to drop into the pocket. I know you want. I like my striker to be on the shoulder, ready to go. But he is a good link player, Barry. If you watch him, I mean, one there, the little flick round the corner, defender can't get tight. It dropped when he drops in, he links the play and then spin, get back in. You got to have runners.
But then Dewsbury does go and support from deep. He actually, and again, he alludes to that because it's harder to pick someone up.
Of course,
he reminds you a bit of like his timing into the box is a bit. Like from a different type of way, but it's a bit sort of like Scholes-esque, where it's Scholes with the arrive
in the box. Lampard was great at it.
He was next level at it.
He was up there, like the best. But you've got to have someone being able to do it.
And this sort of goes where we were saying, like for me, Idrissa Gana Gueye at the moment, and it's not against him, it's the type of midfielder he is. With what we've currently got and the makeup of how we're trying to play with no wing backs and stuff, I think he's stifling the midfield. He really is, because
I think
I see, for me, the Aston Villa performance where I had Harrison Armstrong, Merlin Roll and James Garner in it was the most controlled I've felt us be all season. I thought the midfield three were outstanding in that game. Villa, anything they got was out wide. It was not going through the middle. We had it locked down and we were moving the ball quick. And again, not on him as a player, but just again, he's disrupted that because he's the man that goes and presses and puts out fires. I think James Garner's always a little bit like, I can't go, I've got to sit.
Well, until he comes back,
and then Dewsbury, when he's playing the 10, he's suddenly like, he's got Garner crowding his space.
But that's why I think when the second half for Idrissa was deeper, that the three of them were. And I think even against Leeds, when he changed it, I mean, Idrissa creates that goal and it's the crossbar against Leeds because
Well,
he is the one getting on it.
I was going to say, because he comes normally with a 10.
We all become 3. Well, he likes to get in them pockets, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think when we play a 3, we look much better. When we had to use Briol or we tried Armstrong there against Leeds, just took him out the game. Doesn't work because they're not naturally. 10s are going out the game for the start, but if you were ever going to play in that, you've got to.
It doesn't work if you've got inverted wingers. They're coming into that space,
and you haven't got fullbacks.
Yeah, so they're coming into that space all locked down. Yeah. So it's
there is, which we're trying to fix up.
Yeah.
But obviously we had, Tierno Barry's alive enough. Belaber's pressed well, and he knocks a blind back pass, and Barry gets onto it, and I'm thinking, just whip it.
Yeah.
Far, it past the keeper, he just brilliantly holds it up and rolls it square to use Briol, and just as he hits it, I'm thinking 1-0, because you can just see it coming through him. He opens the body up.
He's one of the few players you'd want
exactly,
on the end of it.
I'm thinking it's in, because you can just see it roll to him, and you're waiting for that, and there it is, and you're waiting for the net, and
it's the right foot.
If it's that further over,
good save
it's
as well.
Goal. It's a great save. Keeper reacts. Just a bit wider. If his hip just opens wider, that just fires into the corner, and you're in. It's that moment, isn't it? You're like, that was my reaction. Well, I think they went on every Everton fan was just stood there like that was the moment, because we had started the game really well. Second half compared to the first, and
we want this now.
And they're thinking we should be a goal down here, because it should have been. Barry's done everything right, rolled it square. Go on, get me an assist. Off you go, and it's a save. And then not long after that, we have a deep corner, and Tarkowski heads it. And as it goes down, I'm thinking it's in, because it can't not. You do that thing, you just look at the goal.
You're waiting for it to
not go in, and it hits Jake O'Brien on the arse and stays out, and you're like, oh my God, because it was a great ball in, and he's in the 6-yard box heading it down, and
goes through his legs, doesn't it?
It heads it down there. It's O'Brien on the hip, otherwise it's the hip. You're back at that, otherwise it might bounce and go in. He was beaten, it looks like, and they're 2 gilt-edged moments, aren't they? And you're like,
I think for us as well, because we don't create enough chances.
They feel even bigger, don't they?
Massive.
To a normal team, that's probably just a header in the box.
Well, you need like 5 or 6 of those, don't you? Most teams, like that's what you create a few of them to get the goals. For us, every one of them moments is absolutely massive, huge. So that's part and parcel of it. But like you say, we were in the ascendancy. We were in complete control. We had zero threat from Brighton. Zero threat from Brighton. We had that completely locked down. Like I said, the slight tactical changes got us on the front foot, and it was like, right, let's keep this going. That's what. And then this happened. And again, this is a real frustrating for me. This goal really is. So we've got the stills from it. James will put them up for us now. So we got Van Heck, who was a shite talk all day. I must say, one cry ass. He is. Good player.
Fans gave him man of the match. But they did.
He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he is one cry ass. Plays a ball in here. We've got to get a bit tighter there. Idrissa's got to get out a bit quicker. Ball's played in, and it comes here. And Michael Keane's done that thing for me of like, I'll follow the run, but he hasn't gone tight enough.
I won't do anything.
You know what? I don't even think this is a Michael Keane thing. I think it feels like this is an Everton
just more
shape thing, because Jake O'Brien done the same thing against Leeds.
That's true.
He starts to go out against Leeds and sort of doesn't go full, doesn't commit to block the cross. He's just like, I'll have a look, and it goes past him. Tarky goes in, it ends up in the back of the net, and this is exactly what happened. So it's not all Michael Keane. It's just, I just think he can do a little bit better here by getting tighter. Tarky's marking, is it Rutter, I think, in the middle there, and obviously you've got Pascal Gross behind. He's going to cut the ball back. Now look at O'Brien. Tarky's doing everything, but he's doing what he should be doing. He's got a good view of the lad. O'Brien has seen this run and has to get next to Pascal Gross. It goes on again. There's a little step over, which is lovely. Brian's still nowhere near it. I know he might say, well, hang on, I'm looking at Matoma there, but Harrison Armstrong's got that view as well. But I think when you see a spare man in the box, mate,
on the penalty spot,
you can't leave him, can you? No. He's the danger. He steps over it, and obviously, look at it, he's still not even tight, and he's had that unfolding in front of his eyes. And Pascal Gross, Pickford's got no chance, as he just opens his body up, and it ends up in the back of the net. And given we were on top at that time,
Yeah.
that felt like a
I
proper
was
kick in the
really
nuts, didn't it?
deflating on it. It was like, yeah.
It wasn't like the first half where they had a little head of steam, and even though Pickford wasn't having to pull worldies off, you could feel it. There was
No, I was
nothing like
completely
you
against the run
It
of
was just
play.
out of the blue.
Completely against the run of play.
I mean, what were you thinking?
Heck, I said.
I don't think you
heckle.
said flipping heck.
Or words to that effect.
Down and slapped your thigh.
Oh, bleep, bleep, bleep sake.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And again, looking up the field, I, for the life of me, don't know why Jake wasn't closer.
No.
Live, I didn't know whether the first Brighton fella had gone for it and missed it, and then it's gone past him.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
But he clearly, when you see it on the telly, he knew what he was doing.
That's 2 games on the run
We've suffered the same thing.
where the fella stepped over it
Yeah,
the near
yeah.
post.
Yeah.
And the phone with far post
And
completely
someone's
unmanned.
being it.
Yeah, yeah.
But O'Brien, like, I just keep saying this, and people, you know, you're talking to people about it, like, oh yeah, but say he was looking at, no, do what's in front of you, the danger
Do your
first.
job, man.
Then you can do your job, man. You know, you go and deal with the danger.
Yeah,
Don't you
And what's
first?
frustrating is if you're going to play 4 bleeding centre backs, then you expect your centre back being in the centre of the
Got to.
You know what I
No
mean?
way.
I mean,
He's in the middle of where he should be. Go
it's
mark
mental,
you,
isn't it? You think he'd naturally that would
go and
think of
mark
that?
you, man.
Yeah.
And then if you want to have a go at, if he'd have
Armstrong
gone,
said.
yeah, exactly. If he'd have gone tight to Gross and whatever,
Yeah.
and he looks up and Matoma's here and Harrison Armstrong's here, he can have a go and go, that's unstable.
George.
That was Patterson, he'd be
Stay-
getting dropped next game. In all seriousness, he would.
Yeah. So,
He would.
You're not wrong.
well, we saw it
A
the other
natural
night.
fullback might
Pato
be
went
somewhere else. Yeah.
Pato went to Aronson and McNeil hadn't tracked Justin.
That's right, yeah.
And Justin
Yeah.
knocks in it.
Yeah.
And even Pickford had a go at McNeil the other night for not doing it. Well, Jake's suffering the same thing. If you see a lad on his own, go and mark the danger first, clear it, and then bollock who you need to. If you don't feel like that's your man, but that is his man.
Yeah.
That is his man.
Yeah,
You can have a go at
100%
that Armstrong if Matoma's too far away and go, Harrison, you've got to pick him up, mate, because we're getting dragged over here, aren't we? So you have to go with whoever's around.
Yeah.
I'll never understand why pros are allowing a share to be unmarked and not thinking, I've got
When
to
they
go
can
and
see
do
it.
that. Do it.
When they can see it as well.
Well, that's it. It's not. He's coming on the blind
It's no
side.
surprise to him, is it? It's getting
Right
played
in the
out in
middle.
front of him, isn't
A
it?
straight run. So the answer to your question is, you know, when we're under the cosh and we get a chance, and you think now would be good to score. You know, they've been totally on top.
Yeah, of course,
And
yeah.
we score, and that's how you feel when they scored.
Yeah.
You're thinking,
It's just horrible, wasn't it? And it
we'll have to come out a little bit. They've been playing, passing, because they've got pay. Oh dear.
the movement's great, isn't it?
Oh,
What they
dear.
have, but. And then they had a second goal, which I'm still a little bit. I'll be honest. I cry arsed about VAR quite a few times, but I feel like we might have got away with this one.
I saw the flag go up, right? And most of, again, everyone who's around you would think, offside. And flag's gone up, right? And I'm even up to and including thinking the ball's gone in the net after the flag's gone up,
Yeah.
right? Therefore, it must be clear as day type of thing. And then you see it and you go, ooh.
I think what they'd say is the ball's played towards where Veltman is. So very much like O'Brien's goal of Villa, but with Armstrong when he said he's offside because he's in the right thing and Veltman's there. But when you look at it,
No,
you
we got away with one.
you sort
We've
of
got away with
go,
one.
well, he hasn't really attempted to go for it and it's knocked down. And I'm thinking, someone must be offside next to Pickford and it's in line of sight.
Again, I saw that on
But
television.
then you see that and
no.
he's
He
not.
brushed over it on the telly as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's
Isn't that
because
one of those where the flag shouldn't have gone up?
because I think how can you not put the flag up if you're the linesman?
Because if the goal's scored, the VAR are
yeah, but he knows it's getting checked, doesn't he? As long as the referee doesn't blow the whistle before it hits the net,
okay.
he's safe, isn't he, the linesman? Because it'll get checked.
Yeah.
True.
And the linesman, I think, and this is a rarity, so maybe clip this. The linesman's job is quite difficult here because he sees Veltman offside and the ball goes to Veltman.
True.
It's just that I think it's Duffy heads it down. Shane Duffy. Lewis Dunk, who's turning into Shane Duffy, heads it down. So I think as the ball's angled, Veltman's offside, so he thinks he's offside. So if it goes by him, the flag's going up. If they kept the old sort of, it's because they piss around with the law, so you
No one
sort of
knows
go,
what it is,
well,
yeah.
what is it? Because I still think Thiago's goal shouldn't have stood the other week. the second one, he thinks it over
no,
the keeper.
runs,
no.
yeah.
Because he's offside and Shada's running and just runs round
And then play,
flicks it in.
yeah, absolutely.
But it's
Mental.
stood and people know, well, because so that's the case then, yeah, we're all right. But that, you know, you sort of go, as it hits the net, oh, here we go, but it's offside.
But if a ball maybe goes out of play 150 yards away, you can have goals disallowed for that, though.
Even though they can't conclusively prove it. But I think Everton did get a little boost from that. I think we did sort of
absolutely,
go,
yeah.
all right, well, we could have been 2 down and we're not. And obviously the managers made changes, and we did have moments.
We did.
Where we're getting great positions and balls are coming in and they're
Moving the ball faster,
heading
going.
away and moved it faster,
Yeah.
like you said. And we end up, obviously we knew there was going to be time added on with all that, and we are pushing. And
Before we get there, sorry, can I jump on to the subs?
Do
Oh,
it.
some of the subs were mental. Absolutely mental.
go on.
I just thought, well, in fact, I thought all of the subs were mental. I thought,
In what way?
I just don't think they worked. And I just thought, like, again...
Beto, you'd argue
One of them
Beto.
scored.
No, sorry, yeah, but he was sort of a bit late, like later on, wasn't it? But like, you know, the Boone and sub, and it was just...
Irabunen was a
Him I
weird
didn't
one.
get.
What's happened with Roll?
I don't. Roll was excellent at Villa. The manager praised
Hasn't had
him
a minute since.
and hasn't got on the pitch for a second since.
I just got, like,
It was odd.
I was crying out probably halfway through the second half to just get Garner Gay off because, like I say, looks absolutely goosed at the minute for Roll because, like I say, this last
Bit of
performance.
legs.
But I don't know. But Irabunen had a Newcastle performance.
He was all over
Oh,
it.
he was absolutely horrific.
He was all over the place,
Absolutely
wasn't
horrific.
he?
Yeah.
He was all over it, yeah.
And giving up fouls as well.
Didn't he get booked again?
Probably.
I'm
he does
sure
every
he's
time he
had the
plays, doesn't
most bookings for someone who is...
Yeah.
For minutes played.
Normally for an
He's
attacker
mad.
after his own first touch, isn't it? His own first
Normally,
bounce out and then wipe
And
him
he, don't get me wrong, he's had some,
Oh, no, of course,
he's had some
yeah.
really good
Yeah, yeah.
games this year, but it was a bit of a... He just couldn't get into it, could he?
He very
Couldn't
rarely
get
comes
into
on as a sub and does well. But he
yeah.
needs to get into a
starts,
game,
yeah.
doesn't he? But yeah, I don't know, just the subs and
No,
the
didn't he get
time into
booked?
things and everything. Like they were bringing. We looked tired, and it was like, come on, we need the legs. And like I say, look, maybe Maitland Rose took a little knock or something, or there might be
He's been
something.
subbed though, hasn't he?
No, I know, but
Because Charlie come on, didn't he? And I sort of understood that because he
Energy.
is, and he gets shots
Yeah,
away
if you're
out
looking
there.
for
And
a
he
goal,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're trying to think.
if you're going to
he
play with the 10, he's the 10.
And he had to bring, I suppose, Branthwaite. He's thinking he's just come back and he's had
Fatigue.
half a game on Monday.
Yeah.
He's had 88 minutes again.
Yeah.
Let's not risk it, and he's all right. But I mean,
I was thinking of sort of like as soon as they scored, is
have the
get
two
one-
strikers.
No, oh,
No,
no, I'd never do that with no.
Well, we've got-
No, if you're not going to put a cross into the box, pointless.
Yeah, pointless.
But I'd have took one of the centre backs off, one of the 4, whichever one you wanted, and I'd have got Patterson on straight away just to have, even though it's a defender, it would have been made us more offensive.
Took him 5 or 6 minutes to make any subs.
He did, but he
No,
did.
goal, yeah.
He put Patterson on, didn't he? Patterson did put about 3 crosses in as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
One was a great ball, and they just got a little nick on it. But we eventually got to the 97th minute, and we put a ball in, and someone takes a punt, which is what we've been crying out for. It's a great strike from O'Brien. It's
Yeah,
a
it was.
target. And Beto there. But if we see it here, we've got the stills here, and it's James Garner. Got Dibbling, on the outside there, and Garner's putting it in. We've got men up. We'd had the one, not just about 2 or 3 minutes before, where Pato crossed it. Michael Keane, actually, it was a good volley.
Yes,
It would have been a bit further over.
Yeah.
It'd have gone in, and he has got better technique in the box than most of our players, hasn't he?
That sub we brought on though, Jimmy Gardner, he put a good ball
Jimmy
in.
Garner puts a good
He
ball
put a
in.
good
Yeah,
ball
so
in.
we've got Garner here, got men up from the thing. The ball comes in, it's a Brighton head that takes it away from
But it's a
Beto.
good ball in as well, which
That's
is,
it.
even though it...
The dip.
Yeah.
Pato did, that's what I'm saying. It's getting balls into the
Pato, are you
box.
best mates with him?
Best mates now, me and Pato. Before he goes in the next hour.
Go for the bevy with him,
It's there,
you and Pato.
Although his hair's terrible, so I don't know.
I'm not talking about anything.
It drops, and Jake does. Jake, listen to me, Jake. I'm sounding like a fucking cop. Jake O'Brien. Obi. Jake O'Brien. Does what he should. Obi, yeah. Does what he should do. And just smashes it goalwards.
Hits it really well.
We all thought Tarkovsky was going to be done for
Tarky's
offside.
85 yards offside in it.
He is sprinting out though.
But moves away from it. Goalkeeper makes a really good save. Beto does well. He's alive in the middle with it's Michael Keane, is it as well? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Comes out to him, and Beto thinks if I hit it straight, he'll save it. So what I'm going to do is hit it into the ground, so it
goes
kicks
over.
back up
Yeah,
over
of
the
course,
goalkeeper.
I mean, to think of that so quickly.
Oh,
It's
classic
tremendous.
Beto. But no, Beto's on
his birthday as well.
On his
Yeah,
birthday to knock it in with the Evertonians. And
Did you hear Tarkowski's interview
in the back
BBC?
of the net? No.
So he said he convinced he was offside.
Yeah.
He said so that's why he just ran straight back to the halfway line. He said just out the way, just shuffled away. He said I didn't celebrate. He said I just ran off to the halfway line, get my head down.
Not to see him move along.
But they had a look at it, didn't he? And it was line of sight, and he wasn't in the line of sight.
No,
right.
but you still wasn't. I was still expecting it.
Yeah, oh God,
because
100%.
the Brighton one was,
100%.
We had the ignorance in the away end of not knowing what they were looking for. I mean, we know it's offside.
Yeah.
Who? Probably because Tarks had gone by then.
Yeah, he's badly picked me by that.
Yeah. But no, we've done well, Beto, there to be on hand to knock it in and get us, for me, a deserved point.
Yeah, the game was a point. Look, it was a poor game. I thought a poor standard.
All round, yeah.
Poor game.
Yeah.
You know, 2 mid-table sides, and that's exactly what it was. And there was nothing in it. And either team lost it, the other probably felt unjust.
And we took, that's 6 years now. 6 years unbeaten at the Amex.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's mad. Yeah.
It's mad how different from there to Bournemouth. I know we got Bournemouth this season, but
crazy, isn't it? Well, we'll have a look at the match stats there from the game. Brighton won, Everton won's the most important one, isn't it? 11 shots of Brighton, 7 to Everton. Well, that was 7-0 at half time, so it shows you Everton.
What was the possession at half time?
Spun it round.
It was chunker in their favour.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't as big as you think, you know.
60-40 or something, was it?
58, I think it was.
Okay.
2 shots on target for Brighton, 4 for Everton, with an XG of 1.44. I mean, that's the highest I've seen, because the one I've seen was like 129 to 120, but roughly a 1-1, and Brighton shaded the possession. So, listen, it's another point. We lost to Brentford and we're unbeaten since in the other 4 or 5 games, whatever it is. So
on the road, it's been excellent.
On the road, they've been good, and go to Fulham this weekend, which is a very winnable game. They're dangerous, don't get me wrong, but it's still a winnable game. But it's a point, and I know people are frustrated, and I was given, we've missed 2 great chances to get ahead. Because I actually think if we'd have scored, I think we'd have won the game. We'd have got ahead of me. I think we'd have won the game. I really do. I think we'd have closed it out. But it's we know it, that the attacking areas are the issue, don't we? And especially with the full-backs, obviously, we're hoping Tariq George, coming in will make a difference to us. But the full-backs are going to be key, aren't they, if we're going to move this sort of team forward?
I think so, like I say, it's a broken record, aren't we, going over it? But yeah, until we sort it, we're going to have to keep talking about it. You can't, modern-day Premier League football teams can't attack without full-backs that create space for the wide players.
Unless, the 6 players are all attackers. Which we don't have. They're not all big goal scorers, are they? So, but listen, if it ends 1-1, you want to be the team that scores the last kick of the game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Can we just quickly take a second to appreciate Moyes' dad dance when he scored?
And his press conference was brilliant.
And his press conference was true. I mean, getting booked.
I thought it was AI. When I seen it, I was thinking, that's not, because it didn't even fully sound like him. It sounded like Duncan Ferguson.
He was trying to say. Fucking without saying. So he was saying it like that, wasn't he? Fucking,
wasn't proper sound like
he didn't want to think. But what about his little David Bleat dance? He's only 62. He should be like sliding on us. He should have been sliding on us.
He was on his way off the pitch when I saw him. Most of the people around me didn't see it at all.
Oh, mad. But, I mean, getting booked for that.
It's mad.
Well,
sad, isn't it, lad? Sad.
Manage that lot and you've got a cap on and you can go and celebrate with your goalie. You can't,
It is. I mean, it was like
looking sad.
15 minutes in and he runs onto the middle of the pitch and he slides to the centre circle. Yeah, but the last kick of the game, and he only went on a little bit and ran back round. I mean, he's not shushing the Brighton fans like Joe.
I've seen an Arsenal fan posted and said, "That's harsh Moyes getting that because Arteta spends more of the game in live play on the pitch."
He does, Arteta's on the pitch.
Yeah.
As the ball goes past and he's dummy and things and everything, isn't he? But yeah, I thought Moyes' sponsors were brilliant. So, but listen, the point, and if you can't win it, don't get beat, and that's
absolutely.
Let's just keep going, don't we? We're still right in there for Europe for as long as this.
Just keep seeing what happens.
Exactly, as long as
if everyone else wants to just keep losing points as well, then great.
We've got a great chance. So there you go. Let's hope we go to Fulham on Saturday and get a good result again, and get the win, and then come home.
You going?
Bank Bournemouth. Now.
Oh, you're the lucky charm.
I know, but Nestle's lucky charm. I'm going to go this weekend. Right, there you go. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Brighton won, Everton won, and last gasp. Beto equaliser on his birthday.
Yeah.
Surely he's worth 150 million if Strand Larsen's worth 50. One goal gets you 50.
Just maths, innit? Simple maths.
Simple maths. Science.
Science.
Some might say. Right. We'll see you at 5:30. If you're watching this as a video as the final word, don't be looking at 5:30 because it'll be later. But if you're watching it live, we'll be going right through for deadline day at 5:30. See you in a bit.
Take care.